Okay, here we're going to talk about one of the easiest forms for the equation of a line, which is probably why you spent most of your Algebra 1 time on this form. And then one of the most annoying forms for the equation of a line, which for some reason is called the standard form. So why the standard is annoying, who knows? So let's start with the slope-intercept form. I'm going to find the equation of a line that passes through 0, 4 and has a slope of -2. And we're going to solve the equation for y. Well, you can probably guess slope-intercept form. Well, there's my slope. And then we're going to figure out what this intercept thing is. So let's go ahead and write down the point-slope form. Even if I'm asking for slope-intercept form, you're often going to start with a point-slope form, which is why I covered this first in the lesson. It is the most used formula, and it is on your math chart. So substituting in the 4 for the y1, the 0 for the x1, and the -2 in for slope. And then when I multiply through, when I distribute this -2, I get -2x, and then -2 times 0 is 0, so that just goes away, and add 4 to both sides. So I get y equals -2x plus 4. So that -2 came from the slope, like before, and that 4 looks like it came up from here. So what is so special about the point 0, 4? Well, this is the y-intercept. So when you have your x and your y-axis, it's wherever it crosses here. So now I'm going to give you another y-intercept. I'm going to tell you it's -3 and the slope is 5. So that means it goes through the point 0, -3, and there's a slope. Same thing, use the point-slope form to start because I have a point and I have a slope. Y minus -3 equals 5 times x minus 0. Y plus 3 equals 5x. Subtract 3 from both sides, and I get y equals 5x minus 3. So there's your slope, just like the 5. Where do you see the y-intercept? It's being added on, right there. Well, in this case, it looks like minus because it is negative up there. So now I'm going to look at the general case. I'm going to find the equation of a line that passes through 0, b. That's going to be the y-intercept and has a slope m. And we're going to solve it for y. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We've seen that before. So this, it looks almost the same. I'm putting m in for m, and I'm putting b in for y1 and 0 in for x1. Multiplying now, I get y minus b equals m times x. I can add b to both sides, and I get y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. So this leads us to the most popular form for the equation of a line, which is slope-intercept. And it is awesome as long as you know the slope and the y-intercept. If you don't know the y-intercept, you probably don't want to try to create this equation, unless you can see it on the graph or it's given. So here's an example. Find the equation of a line with slope 1/2 that crosses the y-axis at -5. There's a slope-intercept form. There's slope and intercept. You just substitute it in. That's it, which is why we love it so much. But we can't always use it. Now here's the standard form, which is the ugliest form of the equation of a line. So where does this all come from? A, B, and C are whole numbers. A is always positive. So if this is negative, you need to multiply everything by a negative to make it positive. And are you going to be generating this form? No, not really. But you are expected to be able to graph this form to know the slope and the y-intercept if I give you this form of the equation. How do you do that? You're going to solve for y and convert this to the slope-intercept form, which is the easiest form to graph. So here's an example. I want to find the slope and y-intercept for the line 3x plus 5y equals 7. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. I'm trying to solve for y. 5y equals -3x plus 7. I don't really want 5y equals. I want y equals. So I need to undo this multiply by 5 by dividing both sides by 5. If I do it to the left, I have to do it to the right. And I can actually, you'll find it's a lot easier. You're allowed to break up this fraction here into two separate fractions. So y equals -3/5 x plus 7/5. which means that my slope is negative 3/5 and my y-intercept is 7/5. So for further reflection, do you think it is easier to graph point-slope form or slope-intercept form? Honestly, I don't think point-slope form is that hard. It's just giving you a slope that's not necessarily the y-intercept. What are the three different forms for the equation of a line? We've got a really powerful one that I started with, a really pretty easy one, only if you have the right ingredients, and then the really ugly one. What is the least you can know about a line to determine its equation, and how would you find it?